So welcome back, and there have been some pretty strange happenings recently. I don't know if you really know what's been going on. I mean, who knows at this point? But yeah, my I was recording a video, right, and somehow I got hacked by this. He calls himself the Gorilla Man. So I had to flip it upside down so it would fit in the thingamajig.
Yeah, you've been hacked. And you've been hacked by the Gorilla Man. The Gorilla Man. And the Gorilla Man's been watching your videos. And the Gorilla Man is not happy with the way you've been destroying hairsprings. Now, I'm gonna set you a challenge. A challenge of your ability to correct your mistakes. If you don't correct your mistakes, you'll face the wrath of the Gorilla Man. But if you succeed in correcting your mistakes, then the Gorilla Man will be happy once again. So, I'm gonna set you a series of challenges. A series of challenges to test your ability to re-straighten hairsprings into their original coiled shape. Alright, that's all I'm asking. So, let the Hairspring Olympics commence.
What on earth was that? Yeah, you managed to hack into my camera when I was recording a video about something, and yeah, it wasn't about this. And yeah, bit of an interruption there, but yeah, well, a bit freaked out to be honest, because first of all, how did it happen? But secondly, what on earth is a Gorilla Man, right? I mean, it obviously looked like someone dressed up as a gorilla, but it could not have been, you know. And yeah, about Hairspring Olympics. What's this? Well, I've received a follow-up letter from this Gorilla Man. Don't ask me how I got it, because you know it's a long story. And it was a bit of clarification. That he's gonna set me some challenges, right? To test my abilities to sort of, he said, correct my mistakes, and that I assume means he's probably seen my West Clocks America video where I ruin a hairspring. I mean, people complained about that. I guess he was one of them. And in preparation, I have collected together all of these. Now check these out, right? I'm going to put them out in front of here so you can see what we've got. Some of these aren't going to be useful at all, but stuff like this, I think this is from a loud alarm. Stick them in the no, I don't want to do that, I might blunt it, and also make holes in the cardboard. This is this is 66 that someone replaced the spring on, so I'm not going to use this because the spring's the wrong size. This is just a snapped axle thing. I don't know why I still have that. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be there's some extreme stuff, and I don't exactly know how I can prove myself to this Gorilla Man. I mean, what exactly does he want from me? Does he just want to see me unbend some of these in a sort of competition? I don't know exactly. You know, is it just for me? Is it with other people as well? And to answer you that, I have heard news that some other people, well, one guy I know, has also been intercepted during recording by this so-called Gorilla Man with a very similar, if not the same message. And yeah, we might see more of that at some point. This one doesn't even have a thing on it at all. And stuff like this is not really worth having at all, is it? Look at this. But yeah, there's some. No, this is actually pretty good. Don't know what that's from. But yeah, there's some stuff that I guess I could make some videos on straightening out. I mean, not straightening like that, that'll be useless. But back into the original coil shape, as he says. Stuff like this is perfect. I don't even know what this is from, to be honest. Oop. Yeah, this is why you probably shouldn't have a bowl full of them. But yeah, I think the ones, I guess if we're doing this like a contest type thing, I'm assuming he's saying who can do the best job at reforming a hairspring. I think I've got I don't know if I have any 66 ones in here, to be honest. I've got some that I could make up. I've got loads of loose hairsprings, and I can't remember the last time I checked, but I think there's 7 coils in a so there's 7 or 5. I think there's 7 layers of coil in a 66 hairspring, and if it's roughly the same size, it should work. So I've just got a 66 here, just to show you. This is a bit of a weird thing I made up. It's the dial and movement and alarm hand from that Good Morning that was just a dial and hand and movement that I got in that box. The hands, the hour and minute hand, are the Canadian style 66 hands they put on the Hong Kong made equity clocks. And the case is that too. This case is equity, and I'll show you something very interesting I did. The main reason you can't really use these Hong Kong cases, because the paint on these tend to be in much better condition, apart from this one. Look at this, is absolutely wrecked. I had to reattach the base because I tore it off at one point. There's it's not really a rivet in there at all, it's just the metal that's bent into a circle shape to hold it in. Still a bit floppy, but I tore it off to make a I don't know what I did, but I think I put the base on a baby Ben or something ridiculous like that. Don't worry, it's all sorted out now. The baby Ben is back without a base again, and it's just for parts. But yeah, I put this case back together, and this bezel. Oh god. I'll just undo it a bit. This keeps perfect time, by the way. If I had some glass, I'd actually make this a thing. But yeah, what on earth is up with this hairspring? Okay, this is definitely going to be one I can do, although it does keep perfect time, so what's the big fuss? What I did was I actually had to reverse the regulator. I know it's riveted in, but so what I did was I actually unbent this bit down here, very risky, but it can survive a bend. Twist it around 180 degrees and bend it back again, and that means it now has the thing on the outside and the thing on the inside, so it works with the upside down regulator slot in the back of this. But yeah, it's a UK made movement. And you can see it has, just count the coils in there. We got 1, 2. It is 7. 1, 2. Yeah, 7 coils at the point where there's the most coils. So in that speaking, for example, this one was a 66. I think this is the original America that I screwed up ages ago. This hairspring here, will this be a possible candidate for a 66? Because the hairsprings are usually the problem with these things. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 coils on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, sorry, 9. 9 coils. I mean, it really depends on what thickness the material is, but it looks roughly the same. So that means if you pin it back a coil or so, it might work as a 66 hairspring. Good spares to have anyway, aren't they? But anyway, why do I have, this means cluttered all over with this stuff now, but why did I, in the beginning of the video, have that lovely pink Smith's alarm there? Well, I've been saving this up for the event of, because I've always wanted to sort of refine my hairspring skills, and there's a particular reason I've set this one aside for a special occasion such as this, which is very convenient because you know, it just so happens to be some gorilla intercepted my video at the point where I wanted to do this. What's this brown stain? I've honestly got no clue. I think it was chocolate. I had an Easter bunny a while ago to eat. Right, over there. Yeah, this is a really, really nice Smith's alarm. It's from Guess of the Year. You've got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Oh, too slate. Too slate. 64. 1964. I think that's how the date stamps on these work. It looks 64 enough to me, doesn't it? The numbers remind me. I love this. I love the design of it. It's got the same hands as the calendar clock, but luminised. Got slightly dodgily painted luminous dots on there, but we won't talk about that. The numbers remind me of the numbers used in London buses. They're not the same at all, because some of them are different, but there's sort of that sharp edging on them. I really like that. And it's got the Smiths logo as well, made in Great Britain. And it's cosmetically, apart from the slightly crazed and yellowed lens on there, which I'm pretty sure I'll run into a good spare at some point, you know, can't really get better than that. Even the base, where it hits the floor, is pristine. That finger's really annoying me. I'll give that a clean as soon as I finish recording. But why have I set this aside? Why did you take 9 minutes and 24 seconds to explain this? Well, let me tell you that I set this aside. I just realised that after editing this video, it won't be 9 minutes and 24 seconds or whatever, and you'll be utterly confused. I'm just going off the counter on my phone I'm using to record. Yeah. Another great thing about these is, look, compared to an America or any 66, taking the bezel off is a real pain, and you can end up scratching the paint and everything, but as the Smiths alarm, you just go, and it's just so loose. It's brilliant. Not too loose that it falls out, but they just got the balance right. Nice. We got a... yeah, that's the problem with these plastic lenses. They're great if they're on the period correct clock. You don't want a plastic lens on a 1930s alarm clock, unless it, for some reason, would have had it. Probably would have been a special feature back then. Around this time, they were probably advertised as shatterproof lenses, as they were still probably a special feature, but they knew that it was a cost-saving measure as well. I don't know, was it cheaper? I think glass probably is cheaper to make than this, to be honest, isn't it? Well, there are plenty of benefits to plastic lenses, other than a glass one does not go yellow as much as a plastic one does. It doesn't look that yellow, but when you hold it in front of the thing, you can tell it's slightly yellow. Although, now I look at it, the dial itself is not plain white. I don't know, it's got a couple of stress cracks in it anyway. So let's take a look at this. And you can see, probably, that there is a serious problem with this hairspring. Oh man, look at that. Now, it doesn't look too hard to repair, to be honest, because it looks like it just got bunched up in the regulator when someone adjusted it, and they did it back and forth, and I go, oh no, and it sort of shifted it all to one side. Had that before a couple of times, but I haven't touched it, even though it's so tempting. You can see how out of beat it is. This could work once it's done, but yeah. Not much wear on there either. It's usually the front plate that wears more, but having a look. It's also got the built-in bell, where it's actually riveted rather than bolted on the top. But yeah, the hairspring is not so hard to repair because it's only bent in one of the dimensions, whereas a lot of the time you've got a hairspring which is like this on Sonia here, bent. Not only is it distorted this way, but it's also distorted upwards as well, which is harder to fix. But I will give this one a crack. This is probably one of the end goal ones. Even though it looks really messed up, I'm sure it is fixable as long as it's not broken. Because really, a hairspring is just a piece of metal, isn't it? That's bent into a shape. Once it's bent out of a shape, I don't see why it can't be bent back into the shape. Even though it may be very difficult. We'll have to test that logic later. But yeah, I really want to let this thing down, to be honest, because I'm not going to do it until I'm ready to do this Hairspring Olympics or whatever. This will be my entry point into the whole thing. And yeah, it's been oiled by someone who actually bothered to oil the alarm, which I'm very impressed. I'll put this back in so it doesn't catch my eye and I might wake up in the middle of the night to unbend the hairspring in my sleep or something. Now, that'll be an interesting thing, wouldn't it? Why am I always dropping stuff? That'll be an interesting video. Sleep repair or whatever. Right. What a lovely clock. Anyway, I just noticed. I don't know if I really like the idea of having. No, I'm just going too far. I was going to say black numbers with gold hands usually doesn't work too well, but they made it work because everything else is gold. And you can't really have gold numbers on this dog because it look really weird and you may be barely able to see them. But anyway, spoiler. Don't worry, I'm not replacing the dial of that glass clock just yet. That's just a spare I've had lying around, so chill out.